After waiting 14 years for a new Shinobi, Sega had one chance to get it right. Thankfully, they remembered exactly what made the series great. But that doesn't mean Art of Vengeance is without flaws. Sega finally brought back Shinobi with Shinobi Art of Vengeance, released in August of 2025, 14 years after the last release, Shinobi 3D on the Nintendo 3DS back in 2011. So was it worth the wait? We're going to talk about it and find out. The story follows legendary Shinobi Joe Musashi, who returns home to find his village destroyed and his entire clan turned to stone by the villain Lord Ruse. Joe sets out on a journey of vengeance, and while the premise is straightforward and familiar, it fits the style of the game perfectly. This isn't a story that's full of shocking twists and emotional moments that are going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Instead, it's exactly what you'd expect from a classic Shinobi game. Simple, dramatic, and focused on getting you into the action. One of the first things that you'll notice is the game's incredible art style. Sega returned to the series' 2D side-scrolling roots, and it was absolutely the right decision. The game features beautiful hand-drawn visuals from the same team behind Streets of Rage 4. Every character animation is smooth, the backgrounds are vibrant, and the special effects make every attack satisfying to watch. The presentation throughout the game is fantastic, especially during the boss introductions, which really help build excitement before each fight. From start to finish, Art of Vengeance is simply a joy to look at. Although there are a few moments where the background effects become visually busy, but that's a minor complaint in an otherwise gorgeous presentation. The soundtrack does a good job of supporting each environment throughout the game. While there weren't any songs I immediately wanted to add to a playlist afterward, every track fits its level well. The boss themes in particular do a great job of raising the intensity of each encounter. The sound effects deserve special mention because they really sell the combat. Light and heavy sword attacks each have their own distinct impact. Kunai slice cleanly through the air, and every jump kick lands with a satisfying thud that matches the on-screen animation.
You'll regret facing me. Your piercing eyes make the perfect targets.
Voice acting is fairly limited. Joe Musashi himself barely speaks outside of battle grunts. And while the performances are perfectly serviceable, they're not really a major highlight of the game.
So, the head of the Oboro clan finally shows his face. Well, some of it. Hello, Joe.
This is where Shinobi Art of Vengeance truly shines. Combat feels fast, fluid, and rewarding. Joe has access to light and heavy sword attacks, kunai, dashes, ninpo magic, execution attacks, ninjutsu, and a variety of unlockable abilities that can all be chained together into stylish combos. The combo meter rewards players for staying aggressive and avoiding damage. Some passive skills even increase your damage based on the current combo count, encouraging mastery instead of button mashing. Enemy variety is another strength. Different enemies require different approaches. Some carry shields, others fly, while armored enemies demand heavier attacks to break through their defenses. As you progress, you'll unlock new skills and equipment that allow you to customize your loadout depending on the challenges ahead. Many abilities even explain which enemy types they're most effective against, making experimentation worthwhile. One small criticism is the amulet system. You're limited to one passive and one combo amulet, which means many of the available options never feel worth equipping because a handful are simply much stronger than the rest. As you learn enemy patterns and improve your execution, it's entirely possible to clear stages while taking little to no damage. By the end of the game, you genuinely feel like an elite ninja. Is this game worth mastering? Well, more importantly, this is a game that rewards improvement. As you learn enemy patterns and refine your execution, you don't just become stronger because of upgrades, you become better as a player. That's something I always look for in action games, and Shinobi absolutely delivers. Another surprise for me was the level design. Each stage feels like a compact Metroidvania, with branching paths, hidden collectibles, optional challenges, and reasons to revisit previous levels after unlocking new abilities. As someone who enjoys Metroidvanias, I really appreciated this approach. Many stages introduce unique environmental hazards, like spinning buzzsaws that require precise movement and timing to navigate. Most of these are for secrets, but some are in the main game also. There were a few moments I felt the checkpoints were a little unforgiving during those sections, but overcoming those sections captured this satisfying old school feeling of finally mastering a difficult challenge. Most of the stages never overstay their welcome, and the pacing remains consistently strong throughout the adventure. Towards the end, there are a couple of stages that seem to drag. The desert level in particular felt a little longer than it needed to. The bosses are another highlight. Every encounter feels unique, energetic, and fun to learn. None of them ever crossed the line into becoming frustrating or unfair, which made overcoming each challenge satisfying instead of exhausting. A couple of bosses were easier than I expected, but none of them felt poorly designed or frustrating. After finishing the game, you also unlock Boss Rush mode if you're looking for an additional challenge. Considering its price point, Shinobi Art of Vengeance offers a surprising amount of content. Beyond the main campaign, you'll find arcade mode, boss rush mode, hardcore mode, hidden secrets and collectibles, replayable stages, additional challenges. If you purchase the DLC, you'll also gain crossover content featuring stages and bosses inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Golden Axe. There's plenty here to keep players coming back long after the credits roll. Overall, I think Shinobi Art of Vengeance accomplished exactly what it set out to do. It successfully modernized the Shinobi franchise while staying true to the classic 2D gameplay that made the series memorable in the first place. The gameplay is consistently fun, the presentation is excellent, and there's a surprising amount of replay value packed into the experience. The story won't blow anyone away, but it doesn't need to. Everything else is strong enough to carry the game from beginning to end. Who is this game for? If you are a fan of classic action platformers, Metroidvanias, or games that reward mechanical skill, I think you'll have a great time with Shinobi Art of Vengeance. If you're looking for a deep narrative though, this probably isn't the game you'll remember for its story. At around $30 to $40 depending on the version, I think Shinobi Art of Vengeance offers excellent value. Between the replayable levels, collectibles, challenge modes, hardcore mode, and DLC, there's plenty here to justify the asking price if you enjoy action platformers. My favorite part of the game was how rewarding the combat became once everything clicked. Every new ability opened up more options, and by the end I genuinely felt like I'd mastered Joe Musashi rather than simply unlocking stronger attack. Overall, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a game I would highly recommend. 14 years was a long wait, but I think Sega proved Shinobi still deserves a place alongside its classic franchises. Hopefully, we won't have to wait for another 14 years for Joe Musashi's next adventure. If you've played the game, let me know your favorite boss, level, or mechanic in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.